Good morning, business rock stars. This is Bill Gilliland, Coach Bill here. It's about 10 till 10 on Friday morning, April the 12th. It's Masters weekend around here. Everybody likes, if you're a golfer, you like the Masters. So it should be an interesting weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And even if you're not a golfer, and you get a chance to go to Augusta National, I'd recommend that you go there. I took my wife a number of years ago, and wow, she was amazingly impressed by the green and the plants. Augusta National had been a nursery before it was a golf course, so it's very exciting to go down there for you plant lovers and for people who like gardening. It's like walk. It's the greenest place I've ever been. So I hope you enjoy the Masters this weekend. Today, I want to talk a bit about vocabulary and how your vocabulary can help you in business or maybe hurting you in business. So let's take a look at that. So I want to tell you a story. I went to a seminar in Florida with a buddy of mine to get better at sales. It was on NLP, or Neuro Linguistic Programming. And it was actually one of the founders of NLP, and he may have very good reasons for why he wanted to do this, but he chose to use vulgarity as part of his presentation. And for me, it was actually distracting because he used so many vulgar words in an hour. In fact, it got to be kind of funny. We started tracking them, my buddy and I, and near as we could tell, the average was somewhere around between 35 and 45 words per hour. So we were doing the tick marks with the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5 across, and and we would laugh, and we had a good time. The unfortunate thing is, the main thing I remember about this seminar is our presenters' use of language, and it actually was distracting for me. So here's an interesting. I've noticed that in business, in maybe forever, but in the last few years, that there seems to be a rising tide of using what I would call bad language in business. Now, I want you to understand that I come from a background. My grandfather was in sales and a salesperson, and managed sales manager, and managed people on that ran routes. And he believed that a good expletive, well used, could provide emphasis. So I come out of that background. So I'm not opposed to language. I'm just opposed to offending people in with language. And so my question to you is, are you losing business if you choose to use that language with your customers, clients, patients, whatever? My wife had a doctor. She was a fantastic doctor, but she cussed like a sailor. And so it was interesting going in with her. I had a lot of fun with her. I'm not sure why she did it. Maybe it was when she came into medicine, it was very male dominated, and she felt like she needed to be one of the boys or whatever. But I'm not sure it was useful for treating. Now, we had become friends, and so I think she felt comfortable. My guess is she didn't use that kind of language all the time around other people. But it was fun. It was fun. I kind of baited her into using it, and it was good. It was good fun. But my question to you is, if you use language that may offend someone, maybe 9 out of 10 people you go see may be okay with it, but what about that one? And what if that one is actually your ideal client, and your use of language is off-putting to them and makes them think? Now, you could say, well, I don't care. That's who I am. I want to attract other people like me. And that may be okay. It's up to you. I just want to ask the question whether or not you believe that language could be hurting your business. So just some question to ask yourself, or a question to ask yourself in business. The second thing is, I believe a great vocabulary can actually help you in business. One of the precepts of NLP, the Neuro Linguistic Program, is that the way you use languaging can connect or not connect well with a prospect, a client. It's also got to do with feel, touch. There's some other, visual, whether you're visual, whether you're auditory, whether you're kinesthetic. There's a lot to it. But having said that, I think we've all know that being built up by words is possible. We've all felt good because someone said something nice to us. We've also felt bad because we've also been taken down a notch because someone said something that was bad for us. So let's talk about how we use language and how we use it to help us build our business. So I've got sort of 3 ways that I believe you can improve your vocabulary. The first would be read more. Read books, watch videos, hang around with people who have great vocabularies. I once heard a seminar by a guy named Nito Cobain, who's the president of High Point University now, and he's been on the lecture circuit. Great guy, but English was not his first language. He's Armenian. His family immigrated here from Armenia, and he actually had note cards where he would write down words so that he could improve his vocabulary. Now he's on the speaking circuit. He's one of the more articulate people I've ever heard, but because he worked on his vocabulary. So he did that by reading and studying and looking into it. So number 1, read more. Number 2, what are you doing to improve your mind? Or, what kind of mind games are you playing? What kind of things are you doing to sharpen your mind? So I do crosswords. I love crosswords. It's going to help your vocabulary. It definitely has helped mine. I've done them probably 1 crossword for the last 20 years. And so I enjoy words and I enjoy learning words. And there's always a new word or two in a crossword. Sometimes you figure out what the word is, but you still don't know what it means, even though they give you kind of a definition. So I find myself going to look it up. So when you find a new word, look it up. So do mind games, particularly crosswords and word games. It will help you communicate better with people. And the third, I've mentioned a bit, but that is hanging out with people who are better than you. So in business, these 3 things are not unimportant. In other words, I think these 3 things could be the key to your success in business and in life. So number 1, read more, study more, watch more videos, listen to more audios. They're going to help your vocabulary and they're going to help your business. Do word games and mind games and sharpen your mind daily. It's going to help you be better in life and in business. And third, Jim Rohn said the sum of your wealth, or what you earn in a year, is going to be the average of the top 5 people that you hang around with. Now, these days, you can hang around online. You can hang around with videos. You can hang around with very well-educated, important people without actually ever meeting them. We have so much value in the internet and the content that's online. So take advantage of that. So number 1, read more. Number 2, do mind games to keep your mind sharp. And number 3, hang around with people that are better than you if you want to be more successful. So this has been the Coach Approach. Give you a heads up. We're going to start interviewing some other coaches. We're going to start interviewing some business owners, and we're going to be doing it live here on YouTube. And I will keep you posted on when that is going to be. But it's generally about 1 a week. We have to work with people's schedules. So they'll come out and be published on Friday morning. But we'll look forward to seeing you next week. Until then, all the best.